come too far to flee the battle. So give your heart, ravishing and fragile, like dying stars. If we're just a spark, a candle in the dark.
That is the stupidest timing for my internet to be stupid. Like, are you kidding me?
I thought you were just like ignoring us.
Nope,
Yeah, I thought
nope,
we had
definitely not
pause
ignoring.
going there.
What a stupid internet I have.
What a
here.
stupid world we live in.
Well,
Oh my God.
that's what you get when you live out in Montana.
Shut your mouth, Nick. No one asked you. No, it's what I get when I let my neighbors set up their own Wi-Fi. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, welcome to Liberty Libations number 98. We are 2 away from 100. It's kind of crazy that we've been doing this for almost 100 episodes. It's wild. I can't believe there are people still watching. I thought it would just be us 4 talking at this point.
I can't even believe that you guys allow me here still.
Zane, what are you drinking tonight, man?
I've got a Shiner Oktoberfest.
Oh, yes.
I knew Jake would like that. Yeah.
Dinner. Heck yeah.
Jake introduced me to Shiner Bach.
There we go.
Yeah.
Alden, what you drinking?
Coors and a gin and tonic.
Oh, nice. All right. Nick, you drinking anything?
Nah, I got work to do and stuff.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm drinking bone broth.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's campaign crunch time, so like I'm in the whole process of trying to get
Drunk.
poll watchers appointed. And so I was drawing up a letterhead or something so I can get certain poll watchers, and then other poll watchers I have to go to the counties where I need them and have them issue certificates for like poll watching day of.
Poll watcher sounds like an insult.
And I called the one county that I'll have a list of people from an organization, and they decided when I called the county election office, like the state website says to do, they told me, "Oh, we don't handle that here." And I'm like, no, they tried to tell me to go to the Democrats and Republicans, and I'm like, no, I'm a candidate. I get to appoint poll watchers. Well, we don't do that here.
Oh, interesting. that doesn't sound fishy at all.
Yeah,
well, that sounds fun. I mean, we'll get to some PA stuff later. Some good PA stuff.
Big things happening here.
Heck yeah. We'll talk about that a little later on in the episode. Brian says if you do an episode next week and then an election special, the election special would be episode 100.
Centennial.
No, it's not, Brian.
It's Brian. It's an election
99B.
special.
It's episode 99B, the election special.
Yeah, it's a special. It is not an actual episode. We won't be doing anything that we normally do in an episode for the election special. It will also be about 5 hours long. So buckle up for that one.
Will we be placing wagers on who wins what?
There'll be some shenanigans going on. Also, I realized that next week is Halloween. I am not going to be around for Halloween to do this show. So we might just want to postpone and not have the election special and the 100th episode in the same week.
you got big Halloween party plans?
You going trick-or-treating, Jake?
Cul-de-sac. Our cul-de-sac throws a big Halloween party every year.
Nice. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're flying all the way back to Atlanta to go to a Halloween party?
I'm flying back to Atlanta to go home to my house where I currently live. And then 2 days later, Halloween will happen. Let's see. Hannah starts it off with a great question. Is voting early better or day of, or does it even matter? I would encourage everybody to vote day of if they can, if you're going to vote. All you anarchists out there, if you're a true anarchist and you're just not going to vote, then kudos to you. But if you are going to vote,
I don't think that not voting is indicative of being a true anarchist or not.
There's
Like,
an argument.
I would say that I'm a true anarchist, but also I'm going to vote out of self-defense because this is the system.
Yeah, I mean, there are many arguments to be made. I would say, in my opinion, the true anarchist opinion on voting or stance on voting should be you vote on referendums only. So only things that you can vote down or vote yes to that do not affect or harm people if they are passed. What's that, Nick?
Or vote for Nick if you're in PA.
Or vote for Nick if you're in PA. Sure.
What's more of a paradox, an anarchist voting or a pacifist fighting?
Oh,
Well, an anarchist voting is not a paradox. I mean, we don't have to have this debate right now. And I perfectly understand that there are lots of valid reasons to not vote if you're an anarchist, but I don't think that that's like a distinct, like something that must be believed.
I didn't know this was going to start a thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's put
It was
put
a
a pin
joke.
in that till the election night special.
yeah.
This would actually be a really good
that would be the
debate
time
for
to,
the election night special.
argue it out.
Because Jake has promised me that it won't just be 5 hours of us watching the news coverage because I wouldn't be able to handle that.
100%. I don't want to handle that.
No, there's going to be 5 hours of drinking and shenanigans and sprinkle in a little news coverage. Like,
But yeah, Hannah's right about the campaign money. So definitely waste their money and hold off for that reason.
Yeah, Hannah says, I heard someone say I can save the campaigns the money of contacting me, so I should vote early. Sounds like a good reason to waste their money.
Yes.
Hannah, that is a great reason. Love that reason.
But like Georgia has the early voting centers. In Pennsylvania, we don't have that. It's either mail or vote the day of. So I will be going the day of, and I will be taking the day off work to try to drum up any last little bit of support at the polls.
There we go. Yeah. And I am up in Montana. That is where my voter registration is. My residency is up here now. So I will not be here on election day. So I actually already voted.
Why did you change it to Montana already when Georgia's the battleground state?
I changed it a long time ago.
Wait a minute. If you're not going to be in Georgia on election, you're not going to be in Montana.
registered.
All right, let's not turn this into a production meeting on air. Never mind.
Oh, I get it. Jake wanted to register his cars in Montana.
That is absolutely correct. You can do it for about $180, and it's a lifetime. And it's a lifetime registration in Montana. So
Is it really?
yeah,
For the life of the vehicle or the tag or?
for the life of the tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montana's got a whole thing going there where people they'll start a Montana LLC and register like supercars up there and get them plated there. Yeah, it's the
Genius.
Should have registered my car there on the way down here.
You should have.
My God.
Yeah,
What is it? Ad valorem tax or whatever it's called? The
Ad valorem, yeah.
valorem. Oh my God. What a
Seneca
stupid
valorem.
concept. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
Okay.
And I've heard some dumb things.
You have heard some dumb things, and most of them come from your mouth. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brian says Georgia has 3 statewide referendums this year. Interesting.
I believe
these are all things we're going to talk about on election day.
Yeah. Well, but maybe people need to know that need to vote yes on all the referendums, I think, right? It's a yes.
Well, I don't know what the referendums are. So.
The official position of the policy committee of the Libertarian Party of Georgia, for whatever that's worth, is to vote yes on all 3 of the Georgia referendums.
Okay.
Enough said. Brian says yes.
Is
Perfect.
there a maybe box? I vote maybe on everything.
Did you just check like undecided and people contact?
In between them, shade in between them, you know?
There we go.
Grumpy, you don't have to play games. We know you're going to go vote for Chase.
Okay, y'all. This show is brought to you by Rabbit Eye Wine, the tastiest of all blueberry wines made in the state of Georgia. It's probably the only blueberry wine made in the state of Georgia, but it's so stinking good. Highly recommend you go pick up a bottle. You can do so in person if you're in Georgia, or you can order it online if you're not. So rabbiteyewine.com.
I just finished my last bottle.
Okay, and what'd you think?
I liked the semi-dry, like the one up from dry.
Yeah.
It had like just a little bit of the sweetness, but it tasted a little bit more like a classic wine. I liked it a lot, actually. I want another one of those.
All right. Well, awesome. Yeah. Go check it out, y'all. Grab yourself a bottle. It truly is. I mean, it's great. I love it.
It's
All
good with
right.
s'mores by a campfire.
Exactly. All right. So this week, for the first time ever, Zane has been proactive in giving me some things to look at. And we're going to be watching a few campaign ads that he would like to for us to comment on. So,
it's the first time in the history of show I've ever done show prep on an actual topic. You know, I always write this trivia, but that's not to do with the news.
I didn't check out the videos that you sent, but I'm hoping they're not all white dudes for Harris.
No, I didn't pick that one. I only picked the ones that I had actually seen on TV. So these should probably be familiar to most people. And it's because I'm a lot smarter than all the people that are making these ads and most of the people that are watching them. But every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I wish they would have said this, or oh, this is really stupid for this reason. And I hope that everybody realizes it. So I guess I am taking a page out of the reaction video style, although I like to think of it as providing commentary, because commentary is much higher brow than just reaction.
Super highbrow. That's just the best kind of content on the internet. All right, let's watch it. Let's watch a few of these.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Be sure to subscribe to the Jim Heap channel.
So this ad is crazy to me because, first of all, they better hope that none of their own base ever watches it, or else they will get mad and not vote for her.
Right. The whole time, the whole position has been, oh no, we need everyone to come in here. We don't need these restrictions. We just need to fix this or that. And then, of course, like the toughest immigration bill in decades. I mean, didn't the bill basically just say, what did it say? Didn't it just basically say, yeah, everyone who's here, you're now legal?
The bill to stop the people from immigrants from coming over the border.
Yeah, the bill that they keep blaming Trump for killing. They try to tell us.
I mean, it did that, but it also the reason it got killed and the reason it didn't pass was because it gave billions of dollars to Ukraine in the bill. Like,
oh, that too. Yeah.
That was. They're so deceitful with this kind of crap. Because she may have backed the strongest border control bill, whatever garbage they said, but that was like a quarter of what the bill actually was. And
Which is usually the case.
More. Yeah.
And then, of course, I mean, if they were telling the truth, she was tough on crime, jailing parents for truancy, keeping people who had already finished their sentences locked up still for free labor. You know, we can't let those people out, even though they've apparently paid their debt. We just got to keep them locked up because they were criminals, and tough prosecutor, or the death penalty cases, the capital punishment cases that there was evidence that clearly showed they didn't do it, and she kept them on death row and refused to do it because, I don't know, someone's got to die for it. So might as well just be you.
That was very accurate, I guess. It's just, Zane, you're totally right, man. It's weird that they aired this.
When I saw this, I at first truly thought it was a parody ad. I thought it was a satire because it was so backwards from what we've seen and what I thought the message was with her on immigrants and everything. And I was like, and it leads me to my question, which is, where did this air? Like, who are they targeting?
I'm guessing
did they selectively? That's what I'm wondering. Is if it was like more like fence states or red states or something.
This ad hasn't been on for. It was from a few months ago, and I saw it while I was in the gym, and it was just CBS Morning News or something.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was specifically in Georgia, but it was to like a the Georgia normal person audience, I guess.
So yeah, so a Georgia audience, maybe that's different than like a West Coast audience or something, because it truly, I mean, legitimately, I was not sure what I was watching, if it was like real or satire.
Yeah,
That's
it
how
does
weird
just
it
seem
felt.
very bizarro world. Like it's all the things that Trump would say in his ad. But
Yeah,
I guess
and what
it
he's
is.
been
It's
attacked
interesting
for.
because they clearly think that this is what the people want to hear, or
Yeah,
else
it's
they
very
wouldn't have
odd.
made the ad.
It is strange because we all live in, at least online, in like little echo chambers of some sort. Some are broader,
Sure.
some are narrower, and you can do extremely like specific targeting for ads. So why you would air this on like national TV, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Whereas if you aired this, Facebook ad very directed for a
Right.
specific group of people, that would make sense to me, because you're basically just lying. Like you're just lying. I mean, that's what they all do anyway. But you're basically just
Yeah.
lying your way to try to get votes.
I mean,
I
they've
feel like-
got the targeted ads. Like when I was finding these clips, there were a few sets of Kamala ads where they're pretty much the same ad, but in one version it's a black person, and one person it's an Asian person. So they've got all the different races, and I'm sure those are
It's
targeted.
like a college brochure,
to make sure that whatever race they're targeting is being represented.
Well,
But
Brian says Josh Eagle debated in favor of libertarians voting for Harris. He lost 9.4% to 90.6% again.
That's because of literally the only argument. Dictator. Yeah, he's frozen, so I can rant a little bit. So there's literally no argument there, except if you just buy into whatever MSNBC tells you that, he's bad. He's literally Hitler, as they're saying now in the headlines. Like, beyond that, what, he's going to take over and be an authoritarian. I don't know. He's already been president for 4 years. Like,
and the
I don't
thing
think
that
much is going to change from that, except like maybe he's a little bit better because some better people were in his ear this time.
Exactly. 100%. It is wild. The quote that I've heard so many times is that he told a group of Christians that if they just vote this one time, they wouldn't have to vote again. And I've gotten that quote thrown at me by my father-in-law, by just tons of people, being like, he's planning to be a dictator. But then if you go research for 1 minute, I researched it for 1 minute.
Yeah.
He says Christians don't vote very often. And so I just was saying, if you just come vote this one time, forget about the future, just come vote this once,
Right. What he's saying is this one is too important. It matters a lot. Not like
That's like-
I'll never leave. Like,
That's like everything else that he says that they clip out of context. That's
of course.
patently just like the good people on both sides thing. Because if you literally have the next sentence in that, you know exactly what was being said.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's exactly the same thing as everything else. But yeah, it is interesting because I think I saw that they were actually trying to convince the Amish up here to vote.
Well, I guess it is the
And I
most
think-
important election of our lifetime.
And I think some were potentially buying into it a little bit.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Let's
Guess
watch
we
the
should
next
move
one.
on to the next one. Yeah.
A loaf of bread cost 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Be sure to subscribe to the Jim Heath.
When I
That
first
one's
saw
funny.
this ad, I literally laughed out loud.
Yeah.
It is by far my favorite political ad of all time. It's perfect.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Now, if I'm gonna do the libertarian thing and tell you how it's wrong, of course we know it was 2020 where $6 trillion was printed, and that kind of really contributes to the inflation. Which, hey, he didn't get elected, so he gets to stick it to the guy who got caught holding the bag.
I've been saying, man, this is why I think Trump is a 5D chess master, because he knew he caused just unending pain of inflation for 4 years, and
Warp
decided to
speed
come back
pain.
4 years later.
I just feel like he's just like stumbling around and hitting it lucky.
Well, it's like at this point,
Yes, I'm being
I
facetious. You
don't care
cannot
about
have-
assigning blame because assigning blame is like step 10. Step 1 is we need to be making sure that people are thinking about the right thing. And we need to make sure that people are thinking about inflation. So I don't care if Trump is bringing up inflation because he wants to blame Biden and Harris for it. As long as it's being brought up, we can worry about who's responsible for it later. Obviously, we all know that Trump's equally responsible for it, but that's besides the point.
Yes. Yeah. He's
That doesn't make this ad any less funny, though.
No, it doesn't. It's so good. He's done that a couple times too. There's another one somewhere where he did the exact same thing with something else. She said.
It's weirdly brilliant. Just like call up some stupid shit that they said and stamp your approval on it. I love it.
You don't even have to produce anything.
No,
It's already there.
it's free.
Just cut it and put your end tag on it.
It's so smart. It's so good. It works so well.
All right. Let's
Oh
go.
man, I hate that I like it so much.
Oh, it's so good though. It's so good. All right, Zach. Let's do the next one, buddy. If you're still around.
Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread cost 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Be sure to subscribe to the Jim Heath channel for all the new
So this is a very similar one, obviously. Another one that I think is very well done. Very easy to understand because with all this economic stuff, it can be really easy to get wonkish really fast and people might tune it out. And I think that communicating these economic points in a way that the average person would, connect with, I think they actually did a good job with this one. There are a few other Trump ads coming up on some of the other issues like crime and stuff, which is a lot more visceral to understand, but also I'm not really convinced that people actually care about it as much as the ads suppose that they do. But the economic issues is really what I want people to be caring about the most. So I'm glad that they're doing it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I've definitely seen that ad, and that was one that I think is really cut well together because she tries talking out of both sides of her mouth. Oh, Bidenomics is great, and then, well, the economy is horrible for people. Well, which one is it, right? So being able to cut that together and show, yeah, here's her defending these policies, defending the policies that have basically led to where we are economically right now, which is probably in a recession, or at least on the verge of one if we're not. So I think that's a really well done ad and a lot better at getting the point across than a lot of stuff I've seen.
Heck yeah. All right, let's go to the next one.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Okay, so this is what they always do whenever the Democrats want to talk about abortion, which is that they always go to the 0.1% of cases where it's actually a medically necessary thing to do, and things that, very, very, very few people would ever say that, that abortion should be banned in these very rare cases. And that's not what's currently happening anywhere. But they always go to these extreme edge cases and be like, this is what you're trying to ban, and therefore we need killing babies to be legal at all times everywhere. And it's just incredibly dishonest. and I hope you would hope that people can see through it. I'm not sure if they can. And
I
then
don't-
the other thing, she she was in that debate, and it was like she was about to cry. She was having so much like fake emotion, and then the Democrats, the only time they ever talk about freedom is, we've got to have the freedom to kill babies. We can't have any other kinds of freedom, but we've always got to make sure that we have that freedom.
Hannah brought up a point that I was gonna say too, that she was just throwing out just a traumatic word salad, and at one point she brought up miscarriage, and like miscarriage. What do you need an abortion for miscarriage for? Like that is basically the same function. It has nothing to do with anyway. If you really listen to what she was saying, she like hopped halfway through one example or one story into another like 4 times, and it made no coherent sense.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, like Zane said, the fact is with abortion, the vast majority are done out of convenience and not due to medical reasons or any of these other edge cases.
Yeah.
But I mean, abortion is like the one thing that Democrats have, because culturally right now, it seems to be, at least in like younger generation women, that seems to be really, really about the only topic that they know or care about. And I think that says a lot culturally that that's the one thing.
It's just funny that he didn't, like, in his first term, he didn't ban abortion. Like, he sent it back to the states, and the states get to decide. So, like,
yeah,
what they're saying is ridiculous.
Well, it's also everyone forgets that, any power not enumerated in the Constitution belongs to the states or the people respectively, right?
Yeah.
And I guess no one's told them, like, nowhere in here does it say you can anything about abortions. There's literally nothing in there on it, so there's literally no reason, there's no way that it should have been federal to begin with. It's murders are a state crime. There's things that in our system belong at the state level. If you think abortion should be federally protected, well, there's a process for that called amending the Constitution.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let's
watch the next one.
Where we lower the cost of living for America's families.
Bringing down grocery prices, capping unfair rent increases, making sure billionaires pay their fair share in taxes. What we need is what Kamala Harris is fighting for.
Be sure to subscribe to the Jim Heap channel for all the...
This one's really frustrating.
This one is just the usual. It's very representative of a lot of the economic ads I've been seeing from the Harris campaign. Just the usual nonsense about, we're going to reduce costs. Well, okay, are you personally going to invent new technologies or
like a time machine,
or like increase the capital stock? Or of course not. They're not going to do anything that actually reduces costs.
They just tell you the end result, like, we're going to do this, and then keep spending money, which is actually having the opposite effect. Keep printing money, keep sending money overseas and printing more money. Like,
the fact is, like, with the grocery prices, it's been floated out there of cost controls, which price controls, which means either you're going to get shortages, or what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and they're going to subsidize that after they subsidize the farmers and everyone else involved in the chain.
I underestimated the stupidity.
So it's either you're going to get food shortages, or you're going to have them subsidizing it to quote unquote bring it down, which just means it's going to come out of the taxes.
You're still paying for it.
The hidden inflation tax or whatever. So it's not going to be any cheaper. It's just going to be a whole lot more inefficient and more expensive.
It'll look cheaper.
It'll look cheaper for the time being until grocery prices go up another 50%, because you can't, or it's just going to keep getting tacked on
housing
the taxpayer side of it. And
because they're saying $25,000 tax credit to new home buyers, and it's like, where's that money come from? Like, what's going to happen is the market is going to see that they're getting a free $25,000, and the market will correct itself, then raising the price for all houses.
Right. So actually, I would argue it's not even all
houses.
It's not all houses. It would be the quote unquote starter homes.
Yep.
It would be the people who own starter homes who get the lion's share of that of the effects of that. So you get $25,000 and the prices on those houses are going to rise, but then you're going to mostly be transferring. Yeah. So you're going to be transferring that money to the people who already own homes.
There we go.
This is
Which, I mean,
exactly
if you
what
wanna-
happened with student loans, where the colleges realized, oh, all our students now have access to a lot more money, so we'll just increase the tuition by that same amount, and they'll still come, and we get more money.
And instead of looking to have programs that create value, we're going to have gender studies and all sorts of other ridiculous things that don't make you any money and have you working at Starbucks.
Well, we do need baristas. Somebody said it on Timcast the other day. Cracked me up.
Right.
I just clipped. She was like,
We need
liberals.
baristas, but
She's basically just like, I think liberals were just born to be our baristas.
but you could become a barista without a gender studies degree.
Well, sure.
I think.
I was gonna say, can you?
I don't know if that's proven yet.
No, but
we need a study for that.
Each of the 100 different drinks at Starbucks has its own gender, and you need the gender studies degree to remember them.
Perfect.
That could be a comedy segment we do here, Jake. We come up with a concept like that, and then we send like Zane or someone undercover in to see if they can get with a camera to see if you can get a job as a barista without a gender studies degree.
We need Alex Stein to do that for us. Brian says, I'm still waiting for them to define fair share. 100%. They said that in this ad. Billionaires paying their
I thought you were saying 100% is their fair share.
No, absolutely.
Like, wow.
What is their fair share? I mean,
Right.
It's idiotic. It's the same thing Bernie Sanders kept saying, tax the millionaires and billionaires. And then when he became a millionaire, he's just started saying tax the billionaires.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
100 of millionaires and the billionaires. Yeah.
Yep.
Which, if you took all the money from the billionaires, I think I saw that someone tweeted this earlier. I think they said that would be like if you could sell and liquidate everything that they had, that whole value, without dropping it in price. It's like 2.8 trillion, which will run the government for a couple months.
I think it said 2.5 weeks at one point in time.
It's like changing your position to punch up as far as taxes go. Like whatever platform you get to, it's like, no, it's that one needs to pay more. Like,
yeah.
Some quack says you'll basically have a gender degree after all the sensitivity training and stuff. That's so true. All right, next one, Zach.
Jill Stein, Green Party candidate for president. So why are Trump's close allies helping her? Stein was key to Trump's 2016 wins in battleground states. She's not sorry.
This is really
she helped
disturbing.
Trump win. That's why a vote for Stein is really a vote for Trump.
Jill Stein, I like her very much. You know why? She takes 100% from them.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
You're forgetting someone, Kamala?
So this was the one ad that I picked that I actually hadn't seen before I went to get all these clips, but I just thought it was very interesting that they felt so threatened by Jill Stein that they actually had to make an... Now, I'm sure this is a very targeted ad only to people on their far left that might actually go for the Green Party, but that they actually had to make this entire ad. For our podcast listeners, the ad started with Jill Stein's face, and then over the course of the ad, it was morphing into Donald Trump, which was really funny.
It was weird to watch, honestly.
Yeah, it was
I also bring this up, and Brian will... friend of the show, Brian Allen, will know a lot about this too. This is things that Democrats are doing constantly. Well, where they'll have all these legal challenges against like all the minor lefty parties, like the Party for Socialism and Liberation or whatever, and like the independent candidates that they think will take from them.
Mm-hmm.
This happened in Georgia for this election cycle. The Democrats sued a bunch of people off the ballot. They didn't really give the Libertarians a hard time because nobody can ever figure out whether the Libertarians take more for Republicans or Democrats. So in this case, we actually weren't targeted.
Well, the Trump was, I believe, the Trump campaign was circulating the word not to challenge Libertarians because we didn't catch any challenges in Pennsylvania, and we typically would. And there was a little bit of behind the scenes there to be like where it was indicated to us that they wanted Chase on the ballot.
Well, of course they want Chase on the ballot. He's not the kind of libertarian that's going to take votes from Trump.
Right.
They're not that worried about it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Donald Trump campaign explicitly wanted Chase on the ballot. So they're attacking Harris, but Harris, not Harris. Stein, I think is, one, like you said, Zane. You have the harder left that way, but also it's the Israel-Palestine conflict where once again Kamala is kind of playing both sides, and it's hard to pin down where she actually is or how she might differ on that. And a lot of that base, especially the Muslim base in places like Grand Rapids, Michigan, and some swings, and I guess probably like the Somali vote in Minnesota, even, where some of these groups are going like, yeah, we're not voting for you, and are going over to Stein as a protest on that. So they are getting hit with that. So that's their plea, I think, in order to try to stop that one.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about the fact that there are basically two candidates this year sucking votes away from the Democrats, which is
the siphon vote.
Yeah, Chase and Stein. That's very interesting.
And West, where he's on the ballot.
Yeah, West maybe. I mean, he's not getting nearly as much attention. Not
when
that he's getting.
He was getting in polls more than Chase was.
Really?
Yeah. Now he got sued off he got denied in PA because I think he didn't turn in all his electors, all the paperwork for all the electors or something else, and I think the state refused to even recognize him and even recognize his candidacy because he didn't have any lawsuits filed against his candidacy like everyone else did. Like the Constitution Party, got sued off and got sued in PA. They tried to say, oh, you didn't turn in enough electors, the paperwork, the affidavits for electors. You didn't turn in all of them for the number of electoral votes in PA. Therefore, every Constitution Party candidate should be kicked off the ballot.
Jeez.
And they were trying to take some ridiculous, complicated thing that you had to have a complete package. And
the ballot
understanding of
insane.
And and so that was the lawsuit claim, and I believe the way it resolved was the presidential candidate got booted, but the rest of their slate ended up on the ballot. So
that's weird. All right, let's go to the next ad. I'm going to say two more.
What are you doing? You're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts.
I'm not rich as hell. I'm the one that really needs the break, not the people that are already rich and have the money. The 1% don't serve anybody but themselves. So for them to get a tax break, no, that's not cool. Kamala Harris is going to make billionaires pay their fair share, and she's going to cut taxes for working people like me. I'm Buddy, and I'm not rich as hell, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
When you
where to start on that one?
Right. So, first of all, I keep hearing all these Harris ads saying that she's going to cut taxes for the middle class. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I mean,
I've never seen her say anything of the sort.
Weren't they trying to raise the tax rate on that back up to was it cut to 21% under Trump, and they were trying to raise that back up?
I mean, that was the corporate income tax rate, so of course they'll say that's only for the billionaires. But besides that, it's another classic case of, I mean, if you really, not to be overly harsh on whatever random guy was in that ad, because I'm sure he hasn't really thought about it deeply. But if you really think, it just comes down to jealousy. The people that are more successful than me should have to pay more because I don't like that they're more successful than I am.
I agree. I do not care for the idea that people propagate all the time, which is if you earn more, you should pay more taxes. It doesn't logically make any sense. The more successful you are, first of all, no one should be paying taxes. But if we are going to do a tax rate, it should just be a flat tax.
And no one's saying with this fair share thing, is this proportionately more, or is this closing loopholes of your company is listed in the Bahamas or Bermuda or some other country, even though you sell to product to consumers in the United States, and people making the case that you should owe the U.S. rate to this country since you're profiting from that. That argument, I can at least hear making a company pay what they just should be anyway if they're getting out of it, kind of a thing. But I don't understand, like, if we're saying fair share and they're just saying, like, oh, just like they should be paying more. Like, I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
Okay. So as a concept here, we all agree that anything you subsidize, you get more of, and anything you tax, you get less of, right?
Correct.
So we should be taxing the poor. Boom! Solved economics.
Wow, that is
I think
genius move.
Yeah, that'll go so well.
I say that in jest, but yeah, I mean, that's a
pretty funny though.
That's a
it might be
concept,
right. You just might end up with less poor and more homeless. I don't know.
Get rich and don't pay taxes, and then everyone will get rich to not pay taxes.
I mean, honestly, you could just spend whatever free time you have just looking for those same loopholes that corporations and rich people hire lawyers to find and accountants to find.
Well, all those loopholes would only apply to your situation if you were wealthy enough to be in the like the normal person that has one job.
The freaking tax code's like 3,000 pages long. You don't know what.
Yeah, it's 3,000 pages long, full of loopholes for people that that only apply to rich guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a broad statement. I'm not certain that you couldn't find something in there that would help your case. But let's watch the next one.
He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change.
I made sure that they changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access.
It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's sex change.
The power that I had, I used it in a way that was about pushing for the movement, frankly, and the agenda.
Kamala's agenda is they, them, not you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Be sure to subscribe to the...
Okay, so I'm glad we got to this one because I have been seeing it so much in the past few weeks. And, obviously, I think that it's a weird thing to do.
Is this a Kamala or a Trump ad?
It's a Trump ad.
But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it could be something that would be advertised by either side as like, look what I did and look what she did, Anyway.
Well, I like the part at the end where it was Kamala's agenda is for they, them, not you.
Yeah. That is a really clever line. My point of bringing this ad up is that there are so many stupid things that way more of our tax money is being spent on that I'm not sure I care just from the economic angle that a tiny sliver of my tax money is going to pay for sex changes to prisoners. So the ad kind of boils down to having a sex change operation is weird, which, is a statement I would affirm. However, I'm not sure how much that really moves the needle.
I would say it also, like, what's the difference then between, like, if you're starting to pay for sex changes for prisoners, how much of a leap is it to start to pay for all sex changes then? Like, why do prisoners who supposedly have less rights have access to this through the government?
I don't think that's a good line of argument because you could very easily say, well, the government pays for prisoners' food. Are we one step away from the government paying for everybo's food?
Which I guess food is a necessity.
And Alden, technically speaking, we do pay for prisoners' health care. So,
right.
Like, I mean, I guess technically we pay for everybody's health care at this point. So, yeah, that might be a good argument.
So I think this just kind of highlights the fact that, here's a small interest group, right? Not only the trans community, but people in, incarcerated people who have committed crimes, deciding, I want to use taxpayer money for this procedure and go somewhere else and that. So, I mean, like, yeah, economically, Zane, it's probably not much if you're talking a couple people, but also I think there's a visceral reaction to something like that. Like, hey, you're not there to be giving people what they want. Like they they're a murderer. They did something. They're doing time for an actual crime. Like, yeah, if they want that, if they ever get, when someone gets released, that's on their thing. But we're not, the fact that, hey, we're going to change it and we're going to give this while like things that I would think are probably more probably more palatable to people, such as like job training programs, educational opportunities are quite often cut or understaffed, things like that, where you've got people basically sitting around and like, they come out and what skills, what job experience, whatever. How do you get them into a stable situation when they get out? And money's not going to that, but hey, we're going to go put money towards giving anyone who claims to be trans whatever surgery and hormones and whatever they want.
Yeah, I think
that's
another like a Republican talking point would also be like our veterans are treated like crap and the VA is terrible and like all this money is like going elsewhere where it should be going to the people who, fought and died supposedly for the country. That's what they were told, at least when they were.
Well, they're paying for their transing too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing that too. But
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, how funny is it that she'll pay for a sex change operation for somebody in jail, but she won't let somebody out of jail who
doesn't belong there anymore.
Sweet, yeah. That's so dumb. That's so stupid.
Priorities, man.
We can't let you out, but we can give you the next best thing.
Well, I think
there is an alternate version of this ad specifically aimed at Black people, because it's also about like the trans stuff, but it's like Black podcast hosts talking about how crazy it is, which is a pretty funny ad in my opinion. But I didn't send it because we already had too many.
Copy that. Well, we're going to go on to the next topic as soon as I see Zach has pulled it up. The next topic is about societal collapse. It's a happy one. No, it's an interesting video that you don't got to read it. Let's just play the video
From Homath.
Yeah. Yeah, make that full screen.
In prison or rehab, and it's like my head tips right over and my brain starts to slip out of my ear. What is it with girls like me?
You are overgrown children. Every choice feels either good or bad and is either good or bad for you. When we choose things that feel bad but are good for us or for the world, people say that you are strong, you're doing the right thing. If you make choices that feel bad and are bad for you, that's just self-destructive. When you do good things that feel good, that's just a wise choice. Like, oh, let's have a smoothie. But when you do things that are bad for you but feel good, they tend to feel really good. When we do difficult things that are good for us, life generally gets better over time. That's like, oh, this was a hard week, but it paid off. When we choose fun things that are bad for us, life looks like this. What a great party, now I'm hungover. What a fun first date, now I have to cry for a month. And the fun parts get less fun with time, like drug addiction. So when you say,
What is it with girls like me?
What it is that you're not thinking any farther ahead than this. That's why what I love most is understanding things, and what I hate most is, hey, do whatever you want. Your behavior has no connection to reality. What we do is the difference between this, and I would prefer it if civilization did not collapse.
I'd prefer it.
I just thought that was a super interesting video. Zane, did you watch that prior to coming on the show, or is that your first time seeing it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. When the show prep is only watching a 2-minute video, I occasionally can handle that, despite statements to the contrary.
Well, what was your thought on that example? Because I thought it was pretty, like, I know there's many factors involved in all that, but it was a pretty good, succinct way of describing your choices and how they affect your life. I don't know. What do you think?
So, I mean, I would overall agree with his assessment. I think to go in a bit of a different direction, the 15-second clip of whoever that girl was on TikTok saying, I'm not sure if we heard the first couple seconds of audio there, but it was essentially her admitting that she's like attracted to guys that are in prison or like are drug dealers or just overall people that have no future. Yeah. And then at the end, she says, what is it with girls like me? I think there can be a tendency in kind of like the trad kind of movement to like not leave any space
traditional trad.
because like all these people online are kind of making fun of people like this that are not making good life decisions. I think there's very often a lack of room for repentance, because I think because when she says at the end of that first clip, what is it with girls like me? Unless she's just joking, there is at least a little bit of a recognition that she's making a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure if the most helpful thing is to be like, you suck as a human and there is no hope. Which maybe that video we just watched isn't the best example of this, but you'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that video is saying you're bad. I don't think that video is saying anything negative particularly. It's saying you're thinking in this way, and this is the ramifications of you thinking in this way.
Yeah, I agree. I hear your point, Zane. Like, there are definitely people out there that
like, especially on Twitter,
absolutely not forgive
clown
her
on people regardless of how much they actually might want to change.
Correct. And you bring up a great point, is that she actually has a moment of reflection, and like that's the moment where you should be helping her and not
encourage the upward trend
process. And I thought this guy did a good job. Like, he wasn't like condescending, he wasn't rude, he kind of did it in a very straightforward way. Those, like, the idea that people are out there when people are having that moment where they could actually change for the better, and there are a whole bunch of people who will just crap all over them in that moment, that really makes me sad. And that's what happens all the time. It's like, you're right. There's no room for repentance. And I think one thing that is severely lacking in today's society is there's no room for forgiveness ever.
I agree. That's why I don't like cancel culture in general, because it's like jumping on someone for one mistake and saying like, oh, your entire career should be over, instead of like processing that one choice and maybe giving that person the chance to redeem themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Just in general.
Yeah. Alden, what'd you think of just the video in general?
No, I've thought about this a lot from my own life, and I feel like I'm hyper aware of, like, even if I'm eating like 2 cookies instead of 1 or none or whatever, like the trend that I'm setting in my own life. And so I'm like, it stings a little, like even on me and my little ways, you know what I mean? Like, cause I'm like very sensitive to what I know I should be kind of doing, but I've got just, I don't know, a masochist quality once in a while where like, and I think it's human to kind of like experience both in the world and then kind of like gauge, like see for yourself. Like there's some people that are trying to offer you the wisdom of like, hey, like you should do this, but like you really sometimes just have to see for yourself like the consequences to your actions. And I think for someone to be like 17 or 21 and like kind of learning that is pretty normal. The problem's more when I feel like you're like 46 and you're still acting like you're 21. I'm like, that's not great. Like you know, what is it, 25, 26 on average, where your brain like actually is finished developing or whatever. And like, if you're still, there you go. Zane, you're an outlier though, I think. But anyway, I think it's normal to do both, but
100%. I liked your cookie thing, man. I had a moment like that the other day where this is a tiny thing. This is nothing like life changing, but
right.
I was like, I looked in the fridge, I saw Dr. Pepper. I was like, I really freaking want that Dr. Pepper. And I drank it. It tasted so good, and then I felt like crap for like 3 hours.
See,
Like, okay, no more Dr. Peppers in the middle of the day. This is stupid. Yeah, it's a tiny example, but I think I like talking about this kind of stuff. I like talking about choices and morality and where your life can go, and this is more where I would tend to take the show on a weekly basis is this area. So our show is
I dig that
around politics, but I'm going to start trying to come up with at least one topic each week that kind of deals more with theoretical things, morality things, that kind of stuff.
I hate logos. If this became a pure philosophy show, that would make me happy.
No,
Well,
Zane, we do the news here.
I'm all about making you happy, Zane.
I've got to do the news.
How will our watchers know the news if we don't do the news?
I think everybody, if you're relying on our show to get the news,
Yeah, that's
I
not.
can't help you.
No. We are so much better than CNN.
We are so much better than CNN, man.
That is a low bar.
We will cover the primary topics of the week and do it in a very good way and do it very succinctly and with some jokes in there. You know, that's not so bad. Also, I don't think people are relying on us for the news. I do think there are people who avoid the news but still watch our show, so they get news from our show.
The trickle down news effect. Yeah.
Trickle down journalism.
I've really managed to cut out like almost all of the news from my life. I get one text every day that's just like 8 or 9 sentences. It's a service called the New Paper, but it's just every day 8 or 9 sentences just with the the top headlines. So I at least am aware of what's happening. But that's pretty much my only news intake, and I think my life is a lot better for it.
Well, sadly for you, I'm going to clip that where it just says I get only 1 text a day.
Do you know? So you can like on Substack, you can like follow a couple of people, and they'll give you an email, and they'll be like, they give you like the article sentence, and then like the first like paragraph, and they're like, if you want more, you got to pay. I never pay because I just want to get the bullet points of what's going on in the world through a filter of someone that I trust a little bit more, who's trying to be, less biased. But that's basically how I get my news. Is once in a while I clean up my emails, I read the article, like, bullet point, first paragraph or first sentence, and then that's it. Like, that's how I stay abreast too.
I subscribe to like 3 newsletters for different news agencies, and then I'll go on X. That's pretty much it.
Ecstasy.
Just scroll Twitter and see what everyone's talking about there.
100%. All right, let's go.
I have a complaint about Twitter, by the way.
What's your complaint?
We keep having this on the show where it's like, oh, I don't know if you caught the first 4 seconds of that. Like, why does Twitter have where you pull up the page and automatically it starts playing, but also automatically the sound is off, like default? Like, why default to play without me clicking on it, but no sound? That's the stupidest way to have a default setting.
I agree. It
drives me crazy.
No auto plays. Let me click on click play on, and then have it be sound.
And somehow it's dumber if it auto plays on mute.
Well,
it just makes no sense.
But if you had to actually click on a video for it to start playing on
would
X,
you click on it?
Then we would have no viewers on X.
If a bear shits in the wood, but it's on mute, can you hear it? Like,
it's on mute. Okay. All right. Let's go watch Elon Musk talk for a couple minutes.
See,
there it was.
See, I'm telling you, it's annoying.
I mean, I got a bunch of sort of nutty stories. Some of them are, I guess, like kind of funny. There's, we had to do this. SpaceX had to do the study to see if Starship would hit a shark. And I'm like, it's a big ocean, There's a lot of sharks. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. And I said, well, you have to, this is, I think, from National Marine Fisheries, one of the, NIMF, it's called. They were like, well, you have to do the study on whether you're going to hit a shark. We're like, what? And then we said, okay, fine, we'll do the analysis. And then, well, can you give us the shark data? They're like, no, we can't give you the shark data. We're like, okay, well, then we're in a bit of a quandary. How do we solve this this shark probability issue? And they said, well, we could give it to our Western division, but we don't trust them. And I'm like, am I in a comedy sketch here? And then, like, they're worried about the shark density data, like the people who hunt sharks for shark fins somehow getting their hands on this the shark data. And so eventually, I think we got the data, and we could run the analysis to say, like, yeah, the sharks are going to be fine.
Okay, you can
wouldn't
stop
let us proceed with launch until we did this crazy shock data, and then we thought, okay, now we're done. And they said, but what about
What about whales?
Yeah, then they go into what
Go
about
through the
whales?
same rodeo with the whales. Yeah,
It's just like this is a
regulation, man.
company who's flying a spaceship into space that then will come crash landing down in the water in the giant ocean.
The open water, like not near a reef where a lot of wildlife are, like out in the middle of the ocean.
Like deep water pelagic, yeah.
The government is concerned about a single shark getting killed by Starship. Like
they're worried about that, but what about did you I don't know if you have this included in this, but the seals?
No.
Did you see that?
Max says, would they care about the shark?
And a great white male.
Yeah, was it? If it's a
Great white
male,
great
but-
male.
Sounds like a description of the show.
So they made SpaceX capture, I think, a couple seals and test it and like strap it down and test to see how it reacted whenever the rockets launched. They had to like monitor the sea. Yeah, there's pictures of it that I saw floating around. This came out in the past week. Like they had to test to see how the seals would react to a launch. So they had to like
I think the trauma of being strapped down is going to be worse.
They had to
than
like
the launch.
capture a seal and like strap it down, and there's a picture of it with headphones on, and they had to like hold it there while the rocket launched.
There's
multiple
a picture
times.
of it with did you say headphones?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Pull it up.
Oh,
Pull it up on screen. Search SpaceX.
Zach,
seal.
search that up, man. See if that's available for us to view, because I got to see a seal.
I mean,
with
it could be
headphones on.
AI. I mean, it could have been faked, but I mean, like the story, I believe, is real. But I'm pretty sure
Well, the seals have to have headphones. How that seal is probably listening to Liberty Libations right now.
That's our new
Elon Musk
mascot.
claims U.S. government made SpaceX put headphones on seals to see how sonic booms affect the local population in the area. What are we doing?
That is insane.
Stupid. There are people.
And did they make
regulating
NASA do this?
We're paying for these people to come up with these idiotic things for them to regulate not poor Elon Musk, but just Elon Musk and his companies. Is wild.
They're just making this shit up just to try to slow it down, I guess. I don't know.
I think they're just making shit up as they go along. Yeah, we're worried about the seal. So what you got to do is capture one and then strap it down. And put
Torture
headphones
it.
on
Yeah, torture the dadgum seal.
Force it to listen to Metallica for 8 hours straight.
Put headphones on. Put all sorts of monitors on it to make sure it didn't react. Then
Do they make NASA go through the same things too? Because Elon's like the private side of this, but there's also like a public side that has similar technology that
they don't care what NASA
they make
does.
sonic
They literally
booms.
hired
That's what I'm
Nazis.
saying. Like,
I mean,
But on the other hand, I'm not sure if NASA would even care. Like, they probably do all this stuff as well because they also have unlimited money.
Or
and
what about
nothing worthwhile to work on? So they may as well kidnap the seals. Unlike SpaceX, that's actually having to kidnap seals on their own dime.
what about the military or like the Navy and all of the things that they're doing that are disrupting like whales and dolphins and things with like the sonar and stuff or whatever? And like, there's no one that's like making them do studies and forcing them to put headphones on whales or whatever. Like,
how many sharks has a battleship cut in half? Or how many seals has a battleship cruising across the ocean murdered?
How many whale strikes do you have from naval ships?
Yeah,
I mean,
number.
A tuna fishery kills more things than SpaceX will ever do if you gave them 7 billion years to operate. And tuna fisheries in 1 year will kill more sea life as bycatch. You know what I mean? Like, or shrimp trawlers? Why are we isolating? It feels like a targeted attack against Elon because there's so many other, whether public or private entities, that will do infinitely more harm to things.
And
Doesn't make any sense.
Will be hurt while you cruise across the ocean on your way to kill people.
This isn't the first time specifically Elon Musk has complained about this. Like there was, I forget which of his companies it was. It may have been Tesla or one of his gigafactories or something similar. Yeah. But he was saying how he had to commission this huge study to make sure that the land that they were going to build their new factory on didn't contain any like Native American artifacts.
Oh, good God. Okay.
But does everyone else have to go through this? Like, I feel like it's like Elon is being targeted for these types of things.
There's actually an interesting graph. I have it saved somewhere, but there's an interesting graph on how many agencies are currently suing. Like government agencies are currently suing all of Elon Musk's companies. It's wild how many there are. And yeah, what's really funny is he went on Tucker Carlson the other day, or he had an interview with him or something, where he's thrown all his weight behind Donald Trump at this point, and sat down with Tucker, and Tucker's like, "Well,
that might be part of the problem.
What happens to you if Donald Trump loses?" Elon just like basically says, "Well, I'm screwed."
Oh,
well, I wonder if they'll let my kids visit me in prison, like that kind of. That was pretty funny.
That is hilarious.
Humor about it, but
I wonder if that's part of the targeted attack here, is if he is like showing support for Trump.
Yeah, I would bet so.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. I figured that, but I didn't know for sure like that he was publicly, officially like pro-Trump or whatever.
Oh yeah, fully behind him.
Okay, for a while now, or because I'm not a good gauge of this. Like
like a month.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty recent. Okay.
It's been a little longer. I mean, he's been going hard lately. I mean, Elon's just.
I mean, I just figured, but
yeah,
I literally just got I literally like as we were starting the show, got a text from Elon's PAC telling me he's doing a virtual town hall tomorrow, and I'll get a phone call when it's ready, when it's happening. Because Elon up here in Georgia, he was doing it a little bit too. But Pennsylvania, he's still pushing it, and he's actually extended it. But basically, if you sign his petition, which all it says is I support free speech and the right to bear arms. If you sign his petition, you get $100.
Yeah, and I think you also get entered to win $1 million as well.
And if you get $100 for everyone you refer to sign the petition.
Oh shit!
I'm up to like
I'm going door to door.
I sent it out through some LP stuff on the idea that like where I said, hey, if you guys sign this and tell me you signed it, I will donate that money to the LPPA. So I am probably up to like $1,200 or $1,500 at this point.
Nice,
good job, man. That's genius. All right,
test how many people I know.
Not all of it was there. Like there's a decent amount there was like family. I got to sign it. So, I had my mom, dad, sister, her husband.
If you refer someone, do you get the 100 and they get the 100?
Yes. And you're entered to win $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
One person a day, I think.
One person a day is getting he's getting $1 million until election day.
All right. I got some homework after this show.
You have to be in Pennsylvania.
Oh, bastards!
Yeah, in Georgia, and the other battleground states, they were deadline was like 2 days ago to register to vote. So,
gotcha.
You have to be a registered voter to also get it. But he was doing $47 in Georgia and Michigan and some of the other states for everyone you refer. So there were people I know that were just going out and hitting their lists hard with like some of the guys running like the Kennedy campaign were just hitting it hard, like, hey guys, sign this, and they were just raking it in.
That's smart. All right. Well, we're going to move on. Let's do it. It is trivia night, everybody. Sorry. There we go. Let's get Zane where he's supposed to be. Take that off. All right. Trivia time, everybody. Zane, take it away, brother.
All right. Oh, I don't have the control over the slides yet.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
There we go. Welcome, everyone.
I have control over the slides as well, so
Jake knows the answers.
Welcome, everyone, to Libations Trivia. As usual, it's trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1, 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2, 6 questions, 2 points each. Round 3, 4 questions, 6 points each.
3 points each.
3 points each.
Wait, that's what did I say?
6. Which I'm fine with, but
okay.
Some high stakes round 3.
You think we should
Forget I said
balance
that.
this out by making the number of points total that you could earn each round match? That way, the
Well,
fourth
when
one
I
isn't
was-
rated so heavy.
Well, when I was first designing this, I was trying to make them as even as possible. Because under Jake's format, it is 10 and then 10 and then 9 in the last round. But I didn't like having to write 10 questions all in the same category. So in my format, it's 8 points and then 12 and 12. So the first, I kind of view round 1 as like an appetizer, and then rounds 2 and 3 is the main course of the trivia.
You have 2 main courses?
Oh yeah. Or I guess round 3, if you prefer thinking
Dessert
about it
and
as a
coffee.
dessert.
Yeah.
Or maybe round 1 is a soup and salad.
This metaphor has gone on too long.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Tonight's categories. Round 1, cool down.
So
Round
like
2,
cold soups, like gazpacho.
Yeah. Sorbets.
Oh, gun trivia. We were just talking about that.
I whenever I'm not on the show, I always at least listen to the trivia of the show that I missed. I don't always listen to the rest of the episode, but I did hear the people crying out for gun trivia, and
We had said, or I think I had said, like, how have we not done gun trivia as like a libertarian channel? But
that's very fair.
So that
And
is
then
round
AI.
2, and artificial intelligence is round 3.
There we go.
and then round 4, artificial intelligence armed with guns.
No.
No.
Round 1, cool down. Question 1. What 1967 film stars Paul Newman as an inmate at a Florida prison camp? Alden.
Cool Hand Luke.
It is Cool Hand Luke.
Good job, Alden.
Is that the movie where he eats all the eggs?
I've never watched it.
Oh, you've never? Oh, interesting. Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Long
but-
time, man.
Yeah.
Question 2. Pictured here is an early version of what mascot? Nick.
That's the Kool-Aid. That's the Kool-Aid man.
It is the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
Man.
That's creepy. Nice.
Brian says one of these weeks you should include Fulton County Board of Commissioners trivia.
Steven will win.
Yeah, I'll have that right after the manhole covers category. Question 3.
Are you keeping score?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Between 1945 and 1968, the average ground temperature in the northern hemisphere fell by 0.5 degrees Fahrenheit, causing some scientists to become concerned about what supposed Jake.
Global cooling.
Yeah, that's what I was
Global
going to say.
cooling.
That's hilarious. I'm not even mad that I didn't get it just because that's what I wanted it to be. Like, nicely done.
Question 4.
Back said I think.
Whoops. Jumped the gun a little.
What slogan was used by the incumbent Republican presidential candidate in 1924?
Can you repeat the question?
What slogan was used by the incumbent Republican presidential candidate in 1924? Alden.
Cool story, bro.
No. Nick.
Vote Coolidge.
No, I mean, that's not right, so no.
I mean...
Oh, on the right path, though.
That's
yeah,
not
for
that
sure.
slogan.
You're definitely on the right path.
Alden.
Coolidge for president.
No, Jake.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. I feel like if it's anything about Coolidge, just give it to Nick.
Nick.
Cool your shit with Coolidge.
Cool your shit. Cool your shit, poll watcher.
Cool like Coolidge.
No.
Cool whip.
Yeah, I don't even
I
think
can get-
"cool" was a slogan back then. Like that wasn't really slang or used back then, was it?
Be cool, vote Coolidge. Says
I'm gonna
Black.
go ahead and give it to Nick. It's
Yeah.
keep cool with Coolidge.
Yeah, that's honestly, I feel like if you even got the Coolidge connection first, that's for Nick.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Question 5. What rapper took a look at his life and realized there is nothing? Alden.
Ice Cube.
No.
Damn it! I tried to just beat everyone.
Nick.
I'm gonna go with LL Cool J.
Damn it! Oh,
No.
oh man!
It's not
No.
LL Cool J?
No.
Oh, sweet. Finish the question, please.
Yeah, honestly.
What?
I had to
Thank
take
you.
it. I had to try it.
What rapper took a look at his life and realized there is nothing left because he'd been blasting and laughing so long that even his mama thinks that his mind is gone? It's not Vanilla Ice.
That's another interesting guess.
Open it back up to the floor. I can't remember.
Alden. Oh, audience.
It's
Coolio.
Nice.
Coolio, nice. I would not have gotten that.
That was the first couple of lines from Gangsta's Paradise.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, flashback to an older episode where he gave me the points, and then when I said Gangster's Paradise, but then it was revoked because it was Gangsta's Paradise or something.
Was
I
that
have a
me?
memory of this. I thought so. Maybe
Did I do that?
I
That
thought
hits me
so.
back because I don't remember that at all.
I have such a vague memory. I was too drunk to fully put together the full details of the story, but I like something like that happened on this show.
It's funny.
Question 6. What physical process involves reducing the temperature of a liquid to below its usual freezing point without the liquid actually freezing? Nick.
Super cooling.
Is super cooling.
I had no idea.
That's where you keep pressure on it, right? So it won't crystallize.
Right. Okay.
I think specifically it's that you make sure the liquid is very pure, so there's no like particles that the freezing can kind of, where the liquid particles can kind of condensate around.
Oh, okay.
It would also, I think it would be low pressure. I think that would force it apart. If you had high pressure, you're condensing all the.
With water, it's high pressure because water expands, so you need to keep it liquid.
I don't think that's how
forced pressure. But.
I'm trying to think of graphs and triple.
Okay, no, we're not doing this.
Let's move on from super cooling
And
now.
superheating. Superheated steam. Yeah.
Question 7. What frozen topping was invented by food scientist William Alden?
Dadgummit.
Cool whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to say it. I think anyone was going to say it that way.
What was the rest of that, though? I'm curious.
It was invented by food scientist William Mitchell in 1968.
I like when a food is invented by a food scientist. That's when you know you should eat a lot of it.
Question 8. This image was featured on a poster for what 1993 film? Jake.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
All right, at the end
That
of
film
round
degree
1,
coming through.
At the end of round 1, I've got the audience with 1, Jake and Alden with 2, and Nick with 3.
There we go.
Okay, it's not
Pretty
as strong
even.
as I wanted to be because I knew it was Cool Runnings too, and I
Shut your mouth, Nick.
yeah,
No one
so
cares.
a little slow
You're
on the draw
barely
there.
winning. You're just barely winning.
Yeah, but I'm in a good position because I hopefully will win once again.
I don't think so. Let's go to round 2.
All right, now that we've finished our figurative soup and salad, let us proceed.
Our light fare.
All right, question 1. The particular kind of musket malfunction pictured here gave rise to what common phrase? Nick.
Flash in the pan.
This is a flash
Nice.
in the pan.
I was gonna say ouch.
I was gonna say
It's fascinating with flintlocks,
Well, yeah.
like the number of phrases that came out of flintlocks. Don't go off half cocked, flash in the pan.
Right.
oh yeah.
Like if you watch Meat Eater, there's an episode because he's in Pennsylvania because there's a flintlock hunting season in Pennsylvania.
Really?
And they were just going through all the phrases that come out of
If you go a real question, if you go into flintlock hunting, are you allowed to carry a sidearm like a semi-auto? Because if you shoot a boar in the fucking ass and you like don't kill it and it's pissed, I want something else like ready to go and not be like.
If you have your permit in Pennsylvania, you can carry, but I mean you can't kill it with that unless you're in fear for your life or whatever.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. Like because that would
like,
be what it would
no,
be.
the flintlock hunting season is for deer, and it happens after Christmas, and it's like the last chance season. So like your buck tag that you get, if you don't kill a buck by flintlock season, you can go flintlock hunting and kill a doe with your buck tag.
Interesting.
All right.
I'm
Next
gonna go
question.
watch a ballistics video on muskets. Like I'm actually genuinely curious, like what kind of damage you can do with a musket.
Yeah.
Question 2. The volcanic rifle and the Henry rifle were predecessors of what series of rifles? The model 1873 was nicknamed the gun that won the West. Jake.
Lever action rifle?
It was a type of lever action rifle, but I'm looking for something more specific than that.
Is it a brand?
Yes.
Oh,
so Jake,
man.
if you want to provide another answer.
No.
Alden, not Kentucky repeating.
Is it a Colt?
No. Nick.
It was a Winchester.
It is the Win.
Oh, nicely
Oh,
done.
dang.
You know what's funny is I've been like kind of like wanting to watch The Last Samurai again, and they open the movie like talking about that. And had I watched that last week when I got the itch, I would have known.
Yeah. That just goes to show, just do what you want and don't care about the consequences. You know?
Nice callback. And you will have a terrible life, but you might get one more point in trivia or 2 more points.
Question 3. What term describes small handguns such as the one Alden?
A J frame?
No. Nick.
Ah, shit.
A Saturday Night Special.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm failing miserably.
J frame is more specific to, I think, a specific make, maybe Smith & Wesson. What if you use it on Sunday?
Well, I guess you should be in church. Anyway, question 4.
Hey, that pastor had it coming, man.
I mean, some do.
Just keeping us on the edge, you know.
All right.
Question 4. What is the first line of Afro Man's Crazy Rap, which is sometimes used as an alternative title? Nick.
Colt 45.
And
45 and oh. I'm blanking.
I need to hear the rhythm.
Yeah, I don't remember this song.
Jake and Alden, you don't have anything.
I knew Colt 45. I can't
As soon as I see it, I'll be mad.
give any. Yeah.
It's one of those answers.
I'm gonna give
nice.
Nick half and the audience half.
Nice, yeah. When I saw the 2 zigzags. Nice.
Afro Man was cool as shit at the national convention. I took a picture with him and he did all the fun songs.
Nice.
You were doing this show instead of hanging out with Afro Man singing
Colt
Hunger Got High.
45, but then I got high.
Question 5. What specific aiming device is pictured here? Alden.
Is that an iron sight?
It is.
Nice.
I didn't know if there was a specific one for like a closed iron sight.
I thought there was, so I
be.
raised my hand.
Yeah, that's what held me up. I was like, well, that's in the thing closed. What's the technical term on what the specific was?
Yeah, a full moon iron sight.
It's too bad Brian didn't get it right. You know, it just sucks. It just sucks he didn't get it right.
I mean, it's too bad this is a rigged trivia, you know.
All right, question 6. What African country has the only national flag that depicts a modern firearm? Nick.
Is that the Democratic Republic of the Congo?
No. Jake.
The Gambia?
No. Nick.
I'm gonna go with Zimbabwe.
No.
That was
Alden.
my first guess.
Ethiopia?
No. Not Somalia.
I don't know.
Alden.
Is Rwanda even a country?
Yes, but it's not this one.
Okay.
It's a currently existing country,
Yes.
so it's not Rhodesia.
No.
You know it's not, but then you use that as your guess. Like,
So I'm gonna go.
that's
with,
my favorite part of the trivia.
I'm gonna go with Niger.
No.
Oh, Lord of War is a good movie.
Jake.
We go with Nigeria. I don't know.
No.
Zach says in Kazakhstan.
No.
Man.
It's not
El Salvador, not in Africa.
This is a hard one.
El Salvador.
Can I just start
This is
naming?
pretty tough.
Man, I don't.
Audience has it.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Mozambique.
Mozambique. Huh.
That's pretty gangster, actually, to have like an AK on your flag.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
a-
but
I
there's
didn't know
also,
that.
they've also got the red field and the gold star of Kami.
yeah, that's an aggressive
It's
flag.
an interesting flag, yeah.
Grumpy
And a
says-
book?
Grumpy
What's-
says Gaza.
That's in Asia, Grumpy.
What's the book supposed to be? Is this like a dictionary or a Bible, or like what is the whole? What's the
dark
book?
It's so that they
Capital.
can, it's so that they can be very literate while they're shooting people.
Do they shoot the illiterates? Is that like how they keep the population, like the numbers up? Like,
Okay.
this is an interesting.
Alden,
flag.
as a graphic designer, what's your take on that flag?
Oh, it's horrendous.
It's awful.
It's really bad.
So bad. There's
Oh,
nothing
man.
about it that's good. Even the
No.
colors suck.
No, I hate so much the line weight is changing all over the place with things, and like we have white bands between the colors, but not around the red. Oh my
There's-
god, no!
yeah.
I'm,
Oh, yeah,
I'm having a
4
seizure.
different colors on there.
The white lines in between the larger lines actually have a technical name in like
In flag design specifically, or?
in vexillology and like coats of arms and stuff. They're
Mhm.
called filibrations.
Okay, but then why do we not see it between the red and the color?
Couldn't tell you.
It's giving me like a migraine, honestly. What is the other instrument? Is that a hoe?
It's a hoe.
So you have an AK and a hoe. You got HOMAT
Yeah.
flag.
Yes, that's a very much a communist thing. You got the workers, and you got the thing that's going to keep them working.
And then some book, Green Eggs and Ham. Yeah. Interesting flag.
All right, let's move on.
Round 3, artificial intelligence.
Hey, Forest Mommy's in the chat.
Force mommy those.
All right, for scores, I've got Jake with 2, Alden and the audience tied with 4, Nick with 10. So still technically anybody's game.
It's Jake and audience 2, Alden 4, and me with 10.
Jake was 2, Alden and audience was 4, you was 10.
Okay, so like 2
Biggest
questions.
comeback
and I can-
ever.
Question 1. Much of artificial intelligence rests on what branch of mathematics which deals with solving systems of equations using matrices? Nick.
Linear algebra.
It is indeed.
Nice.
I've taken it.
F
not
this.
fun.
I was going to say HOMAth.
Yeah, I wish you said that.
That'd be a weird. That's the AI we don't want, you know. But probably the one we deserve.
Question 2. Chat GPT is, unsurprisingly, a GPT. A GPT is a type of LLM. What do either of these initialisms stand for?
This is specifically just to get people to not answer early this question. This is bullshit.
How did you... I've literally started writing every single one of my questions, so I don't actually say what the question is.
But this one is egregious, the level.
Nick.
LLM's large language model, which Brian beat me to because you were talking instead of calling.
Do what you want with that, yeah. Nick's in the lead by a lot. But...
Give it to the
I'll
audience.
still give you the points
GPT.
if you can tell me what GPT is.
I'm gonna general purpose task.
No.
I don't know. I have no idea.
GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer.
Good God.
So I'll just split it between you.
I thought it was a gender pre-prepared trans.
Yeah, because I do LLM.
Transition.
And I'm sitting here waiting for you to call and quit bullshit. And that's Brian type the answer.
That happened to me once because of Zach. Zach spent so long.
God damn it, Zach.
Around with an answer one time that the audience beat me, even though I knew the answer. All right. Anyway,
You probably still won, so.
No, I don't think that. I think the audience beat me because of that.
Perfect. It's no better.
A tarnish in his record.
Anyway, I don't have to worry about that anymore because I never play. But question 3. Despite the fact that it has not been released yet, Apple Intelligence is the primary new feature of what most recent generation of iPhone? Nick.
16.
It is the 16.
Are we that far?
Yes.
Wow. I thought we were like on 14 or something.
I'm using an 11 still. So.
Grumpy's saying wah to you, Zane. Wah.
I have an SE, which is based on the 6. So, wow.
All right. Final question. Let's do it.
I forgot there's one more.
And yeah, because in very highbrow trivia like mine, round 3 has 4 questions. All right. Question 4. An elaborate 18th and 19th... Alden.
Mark Twain.
No.
Damn it. Lightning doesn't strike twice, I guess.
For our... If we do end up having a Halloween episode, somebody needs to dress up as Jackie Chan and somebody needs to dress up as Mark Twain.
Yeah. I call Mark Twain.
All right, question 4.
Not trying to catch that racial flag.
An elaborate 18th and 19th century hoax claimed that a certain machine was able to play a strong game of chess on its own. In fact, the machine cleverly concealed space for a human chess master to operate it from the inside. What was the name of this machine? Alden.
Xbox.
No.
I have no freaking clue.
I forget the year.
I'm gonna go with Da Vinci.
No.
Not
the cotton gin. No, Alden.
PC.
No.
The cotton gin is hilarious, though, by the way.
What year, Zane?
I just processed.
It was put on display at various times during the 17 and 1800s.
I like the Vinci voting machine. Points. Give Forrest Mommy points for that.
Yeah, that is funny.
iPhone incorrect.
Yes.
Hannah wants you to read the question again. She just got back into trivia.
All right. Hannah is the only person who I would think might actually know the answer to this, so I will read it again.
So it's worth rereading, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
An elaborate 18th and 19th century hoax claimed that a certain machine was able to play a strong game of chess on its own. In fact, the machine cleverly concealed space for a human chess master to operate it from the inside. What was the name of this machine?
I just have no freaking clue. Brian says chess-o-matic.
No. Nick?
Tom?
No.
A what?
Tom. I'm just guessing names at this point.
That's actually the closest that anybody has gotten. And you'll see why when the answer is revealed.
What's that?
I know what
Hannah
this.
says,
Like
wait.
I've heard of this.
Wait, oh my god.
Like, I just can't. It's not even.
Oh, the audience gets it. It's the Mechanical Turk.
What is that?
That's right.
Unbelievable.
That's right. I knew that.
Hannah says, "Why do I know that? Was it in a movie?"
The
What
Prestige.
is a Mechanical Turk.
So Zane, so you're right. Hannah had a chance at.
Yeah, it was worth rereading.
Is that 3 or 4 in a row of trivias that I've played in one?
No one cares, so no one's keeping track.
I think the audience won one
track.
recently.
Not while I was here.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Alden, I did what you wanted me to do. We are now whining philosophical.
Nice.
I thought it was winning philosophical.
No one told me because I'm ginning philosophical.
Whining would have an H after the W.
No, not the kind of
No,
whining.
that's what that's the whole joke.
Oh,
come on, Nick. Get it together.
sorry.
You're terrible on the dad jokes. All right, y'all. Well, first of all, before we actually get into whining philosophical, I'd like to plug my other show, which second episode premieres tomorrow night. It is The Cascade Effect. The first show was actually a massive hit. First episode. Tens of thousands of people.
Oh, good, man.
Around Montana have watched it at this point. It has actually affected law enforcement up here, and in the way
Are they
that
running scared?
they are avoiding us at all costs, and they're postponing trials that are related to this case because of
What? Really?
press that's
Really?
happening around.
No way, man. That's
the kind of
insane.
change we need in the world, Jake.
So it's my biggest success. You know, Liberty Libations is a massive failure, and this one is a huge success. So if
I mean, to be fair, look at the cast of characters on this show, and
yeah, that's true. Go on over to peacefulsea.network. You can watch the first episode there. The second episode comes out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, so 10 p.m. Eastern. If you don't know, the show is basically about a murder that happened on private property. A cop killed a civilian, and he ended up getting the Purple Heart because he got wounded in the incident. But it turns out there's a lot of shenanigans that went down with the case, and it was just kind of swept under the rug. And we are investigating it with the Cascade County Libertarian Party and then another organization here in Montana. And it's a crazy story. First episode came out about 3 weeks ago. You can go check it out. Peacefulsea.network. You can also find it on Spotify, Apple, basically anywhere, YouTube, everywhere.
really, what they should be doing is going to Peaceful Sea and joining the Dollar Club.
You should really join the Dollar Media Club over at peacefulsea.network. You'll get access to our documentaries, movies, behind-the-scenes stuff, bonus episodes,
Foot videos,
subscriber-only shows, Alden's foot videos.
My new show about manhole covers.
Nick's manhole cover madness.
That's his foot channel's title. Yeah.
You'll also get access to our Discord. You'll get discounts on merchandise. You get exclusive shows. There are also sponsorship opportunities if you own a business that you want getting out to thousands of people. You can sponsor 3 shows, which will get tons of viewers looking at your product and getting it out there. So there's also
as long as it's not a wine.
As long as it's not a wine. Yeah,
we already have a wine.
Blueberry wine. We can have other kinds of wine.
I just drove past a peach wine spot here. I gotta go check out in Ringgold.
Oh, I like that.
I gotta try it.
What?
Maybe we only have exclusively wine sponsors.
I'm gonna put a kibosh on that. No, absolutely not. So go over to peacefulsea.network. Check it out. There'll be more shows coming soon. There will be documentaries coming to the network, more documentaries and movies as well. So make sure you go check that out.
All right, somebody changed my headline to highbrow, which is hilarious.
I didn't notice that. Oh man,
it was either you or Zach.
Yeah, no, it was me.
You were the other ones that could do it.
It was 100% me. While I am waiting for, here we go. So this is what Nick wants to talk about in the whining philosophical. Let me pull it up real quick. There we go. All right, breaking. The state of Pennsylvania has passed Bitcoin rights in the House by a sweeping majority. Both Republicans and Democrats united together to pass the bill, which normally is terrible, but in this case seems pretty good. Pennsylvania is poised to be the most important state in the 24 election, and this bill is poised to play a role. Nick, can you tell us what this bill does?
Right. So unlike most government legislation that is super long and difficult, this is actually only 3.5 pages, and a lot of it's just definitions, like defining wallet, defining node, things like that. But basically, the long and short of this is that you have the right to self-custody. You can run a node. You can transact. You have the right to transact in Bitcoin or it's written as digital assets or whatever. And it also prevents any additional taxes from being put on Bitcoin. So like a municipality can't say, oh, you're transacting in Bitcoin, we're going to tax that transaction separately. Like there's still the whole income tax thing with it because that's not really, where you can sell the gains on it or whatever. But you can't just slap a tax saying you spent in Bitcoin. There's a fee on that. So,
awesome.
Brian, yes, PA has a full-time legislature, and it's the second largest legislature in the country after New Hampshire. It is ridiculously expensive, and they don't do much. But in this case, I consider this a giant win, and I believe it. I think it passed by 100 vote margin or something. Like it was not close.
That's wild. It's wild that something this like pro cryptocurrency got passed by that wide of a margin.
And Dennis Porter's Satoshi Action Fund guy. He's they're out there. They pushed it in Montana. They pushed it. Well, they pushed I think the right to mine or something in Montana. Like they're behind all these lobbying things. I'm trying to look and see what the vote was, but yeah, this was not a close vote in Pennsylvania, and it was bipartisan, so a lot of wins to that. So
heck yeah, that's awesome.
And so we have, so now it's got to go to the Senate, and we're going to see what we can. And so now I'm going to try to see what we can do to maybe help push that. I knew something was coming on this. Like last week, there was a bit of a push going around to sign a letter addressed to the legislature. I think it was addressed specifically to the Republicans coming through like their system saying, "Hey, support this." So I signed that last week, and so now we're, all right. I found the news article. I should be able to tell you what the vote was on it.
So this still has to go through the Senate, is what you're saying?
Yes. So the vote total was 176 to 26.
Good Lord.
Wow.
So it passed just right through.
So the question, I'm a huge skeptic with anything that passes in favor of Bitcoin. So my fear is that everybody in the House felt comfortable voting this through to look good to their constituents, where it's just going to get shot down in the Senate. Is that a possibility?
It's possible, but I was listening in on the Twitter space that Dennis was doing earlier today.
Yeah.
When he announced it, and I think they're fairly comfortable. So the legislature in Pennsylvania is split. The Dems have the General Assembly, and the Republicans have the Senate. And Republicans are generally a little bit more open to this. I mean, it's a much smaller group, so we're going to see. And I'm gonna reach out to Dennis and see what we might be able to do here in Pennsylvania to help push it. Whether we do like a action thing like we do with Defend the Guard. But I'm gonna start trying to work that and see if we can get something going there.
Nice.
And try to push this through. And he was indicating that, well, we don't know for sure. He seemed like there was a good chance that if it passes through the Senate, that even the Democrat governor will sign it into law.
Wow.
Which would be so good if that was the case. Like the first state to, and he was going on about how, Pennsylvania is basically the battlegroundiest of the battleground states right now. And like the fact that they're pushing this through, like they kind of understand that this is a big thing, and to push it through, 2 weeks ahead of the elections in a battleground state like that means there's a flow there, and it means that there's something there. So
it's an interesting precedent to set, because generally when something like that, that's a big deal. Like when something like that happens, generally other states follow pretty quickly, especially if they're in session. I guess not all. I don't know. We're coming at the end of the year. I'm guessing a lot of legislatures are not in session anymore. But this is definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm very intrigued by it, since I'm just, I'm the show Bitcoin guy, that's so
yeah. The resident Bitcoin guy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Nick's up there with me in the Bitcoin world, but that's all I
have a website declaring it, and a caucus, and
we have a demand. We have a demand from Grumpy to skip to Drunkard of the Week, and then we can come back to.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So let's go do it. Okay.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, my teeth are blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about. It's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you. I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up. On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right. So, it's still funny.
How does that get me every time?
Every time, man. All right. So this week I couldn't download the dadgum video because X wouldn't let me download it even on my premium account. So we don't have the little bit at the end saying I just want to be free.
Okay. What
we want to do.
Simon Pegg.
This is a hero version of Drunkard of the Week. So here we go.
Just a couch at a place in the suburbs? No, not by a long shot. The police reaction. Seeing the secret entrance revealed to a gun lover's treasure trove. Officers finding a range of weapons at the property, handguns, shotguns, more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition, plus a workbench equipped to modify firearms. Even an underground shooting range, complete with a pulley system to set the target.
A bunker.
That's incredible.
Shooting range, an arsenal of high-powered firearms right in suburban Perth. It's just incredible.
The stash also included a 50 caliber rifle with ammo, a weapon designed to penetrate armored vehicles, even buildings.
BMG.
We also found a suppressor, suppressors, which like a silencer. That's illegal. Body armor, illegal. Unsecured ammunition and unlicensed ammunition, illegal.
Across Australia, it's the fear of police that guns like these can and do end up in criminal hands.
My heart sinks every time I see a firearms burglary where more than 10, sometimes 20 and 30 firearms are being taken from a house.
The bunker builder, there in the orange shirt, former professional fighter David Iceman Letizia, pleading guilty to several firearms charges.
There we go. There's our Drunkard of the Week. I love that they called it unsecured ammunition as one of the charges. What
does that mean?
Safe below ground.
It's a secret in a hidden bunker.
It's in a hidden bunker, and you're calling it unsecured. Are you kidding me?
First off, fuck Australia.
Yes. Yeah, fair.
Australia isn't real.
Yeah, I wish it were.
But seriously, I like the part where they're like, every time there's a firearms robbery, and it's like, oh, I thought you guys banned those. You mean that still happens?
This is a firearms burglary.
It is.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, Zane is correct. Australia isn't.
My heart sinks whenever I see a gun in the possession of a cop.
Yeah,
exactly.
When the people have no guns.
They have all those laid out, like, look what we found. It's like, give the guy his guns back.
This is the best. I mean, they're acting like 1,000 rounds is a lot. Like,
Yeah, 1,000
rounds is nothing. I can't believe he only had 1,000 rounds down there.
Actually, I really am surprised there's not more. Maybe there's a third level where all the other ammunition is.
There's another couch. There's another couch in the bunker, and then if you lift that up, it goes down to another bunker.
Yeah, it's gunception.
It's friggin' epic, man. That dude's awesome. He literally has a automatic raising couch to go down into a bunker full of guns and a private firing range.
So how did he get caught? Did
Great
someone
question.
hear him underground shooting in his
I don't know.
crazy awesome bunker?
10 seconds. Let's see.
He was
All I
fined
gotta
just over
say,
$3,000 with the weapons destroyed. He's also been charged with building it without council approval.
oh whatever. More just insult.
You got a bunker license, mate.
Also, he was only that's kind of weird that possessing those guns, he was only fined $3,000.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Like the
that's
cost of
perfectly reasonable. Like, I'm going to go to Australia just to have some guns and just to see what the fine is like, because that's insane.
It's like the cost of his 50 cal.
That's wild.
Well, Jake, if you want to help, I got a house project that I need a little help with now.
Love it.
Well,
Dude, we thought about
you do like that.
Was that?
It's like the British guy. Did you ever see that on YouTube?
Yeah,
the British
Colin
guy
Firth.
just built the bunker and then just kept expanding and
yeah.
his
Yeah,
bunker.
he just made a garage down there. He's that dude is one of the most impressive people on the planet. Love Colin
That's some
Firth. Go
wild
check out
stuff.
his YouTube channel. You will get lost.
It's fun. Yeah, I did get lost. Yeah.
But dude, there was a moment in time where in our basement in Atlanta, we were going to put in one of those tunnel firing ranges in our basement.
That's you guys have that long ranch home shape for it too. It's perfect.
Yeah, we just.
I'm kind of mad you're not doing it.
I know. We're
You just
selling
have to. You just have to armor it up right and put it along the wall.
Just mulch up some tires and throw it on the back wall. You're good.
Good night, Grumpy. All right, now, audience, affirm us. Say nice things. Do your thing in the comment section.
Most shows that ask for like audience questions don't just explicitly direct them to give us just positive.
We're not most shows. We're not.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've had some smoke up my ass. So.
What I'm saying is maybe if your goal is to be affirmed, don't come right out and say it. Just let it happen naturally.
Or just don't be on this show.
No. The fact is they need to congratulate me for winning trivia again.
The fact is our audience is, according to Zane, not highbrow. So they need a little instruction.
What? Our audience is not highbrow. Our audience is probably some of the finest people imaginable.
I tried to write highbrow as my headline, and something happened, and I just it just didn't want to work here.
Brian, congrats on winning a rigged game.
you can use that same group. Congratulations to Kamala Harris in 2 weeks.
Zach says, when did y'all allegedly get your first Bitcoin/sats? Ooh, good question.
I'm not answering that question, Fed.
Mine was in
What's sats?
Satoshi.
Is that like a Saturday night special?
Smallest unit measurement of a Bitcoin.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like 2017-ish.
Yep, me too.
Because I didn't buy back in college in like 2013 whenever my roommate was buying it and buying stuff on Silk Road. And
I regret
I'm like,
that.
I can't afford $18 to just waste away on.
Yeah, I need to go
Bitcoin.
drink beer and whiskey.
Yes.
It may or may not have been at some point between 2012 and 2024.
Perfect. We're so specific tonight. Yeah. I don't know.
Were you
Y'all.
even in high school yet in 2012, Zane?
No, in 2012, I was in like eighth grade. Because I remember I was in eighth grade the night of the 2012 election between Romney and Obama, and I was really upset that Obama won.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of embarrassing.
That was the first election I voted in.
I didn't vote in that one. I voted in the next one. whichever one that was. Which one was that
Oh,
one? Well,
the
who did he
next
run against
one
in
was-
2016?
2016 was Trump v. Hillary.
Oh yeah, that was my first one I voted in. Yeah,
That was your first vote?
yeah. I couldn't care less before that, man.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
I didn't
we,
vote.
we all do, Brian. We all feel ancient when Zane.
Yeah, the 2012 I only registered because I was I graduated high school in 2010, so like 2012 I hadn't bothered to register to vote, and then like I got harassed walking to class with, oh, it'll just take 1 second, fine, fill out the paperwork. And then once I did that, it was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go show up to the student center and cast a vote.
I feel old this week because I sprained my toe. I have like turf toe from pickleball.
Moral of the story:
Don't play pickleball.
I knew Jake was going to say that.
I'm literally. I don't think he watches this show, but I'm dressing up as my neighbor as a ridiculous pickleball player for Halloween.
Yes, that's incredible.
I bought like a $5 racket. I bought the like headband with a matching shirt, shorts, and wristbands. It's
You're gonna wear like
you have,
squat
like-
glasses or something. So
Yeah.
that
I want you to have like a really like bulky, obvious concealed carry like in your gym shorts, like the libertarian pickleballer.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. All right, y'all. I'm good with the going to the funnies now. If everybody else is,
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let us go to the funnies because I have.
Did you
to
actually
go-
pick some of mine this time? You
No.
never
No.
picked any of mine.
I picked some of Alden's. I
Oh,
didn't-
yeah, all right.
I didn't know you put anything in there.
Oh,
That's what she said.
That was a good one.
I haven't said that in a while.
All right. This is a winter sport that this person who tweeted this said they can finally get behind a winter sport.
She won't bother me no
Which I'm a huge fan.
Wait,
of.
is this like curling with beer?
Curling with beer. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I hope.
They have to slide a beer to the person at the end. They have
Oh,
to
okay.
chug it and then run back to the other side.
This is crazy.
Dude, I'm into this. Where is this?
This has got to be in like Michigan or Wisconsin or Minnesota.
I was gonna guess. Yeah, either.
It could be Colorado with those buildings in the background. It could definitely be Colorado. They're a big beer drinking state.
Canada
It's,
could redeem themselves a little bit if they want to claim this sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a good game. I mean, play for some fun. You know, it's almost like
Yeah. It looks
probably
as
as fun
good
as like
beer pong.
Stump
Yeah. It's good as beer pong, I would say.
or Stump.
I want to do. Do you know like shuffleboard, like the long, skinny, like bar shuffleboard? I want to do like shuffleboard now on ice with beer.
You can't do it with glass though. You'd have to do it with like cans or something.
That's true. Like Steins, maybe. Yeah.
I wonder if you got the surface slippery enough if you could do it with like shot glasses or something.
Yeah, I used to.
Shot glasses smashing into each other. Come on.
But you need the glass because of the it would be low enough friction. Anything else, you're going to get a lot of friction on.
No,
Unless you
not
come up with
according
some
to.
sort
You just got to spray that stuff from Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation that he sprays on the bottom of his sled. All right, next one. And this guy literally just does this.
It's pretty funny.
We know who's getting CTV. Gotta turn those down. I mean,
Is that so we don't get a copyright strike
for the ACDC?
yeah, it's mainly for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that kind of makes me want to get a goat.
My grandparents in Orlando, they run a wildlife center, and for a little while I used to live with them kind of, and I used to like take care of some of the animals out there, and they had a deer, and as it got bigger and it grew like antlers and stuff, like it used to start to kind of like want to charge you, and my grandma kind of couldn't like take care of him anymore, so I had to like take care of him. But I used to like grab him by the horns and like wrestle with him out in the back, and it was actually a lot of fun. I never headbutted him. I never did. This is crazy. I didn't do that, but
This is a tiny goat, though. A deer is Fairly
Yeah,
large animal.
a deer's a whole other thing, but
I don't know, man. A goat has a much harder head. Like they're built to destroy you with their horns.
some of
He's got a
the
helmet on.
some of the rams are insane, man.
I've seen people die on a motorcycle even wearing a helmet. So you know,
The goat's not going 80 miles an hour.
I don't know how powerful a goat is. All right, next one. Zane's gonna say this is fake.
I've seen this.
Yeah, I'm autistic. My autistic superpower is being good at golf. A lot of people like to ask me, how do I get better? It's very simple. You got to leave yourself makeable par putts if you miss the green. I know exactly how far back to take my club to hit it a certain distance. I'm 10 yards out, so I'm just going to bring the club my 10-yard distance. Here we go. Let's leave ourselves a 1 to 5 foot makeable par putt here. Simple. Okay, so this par putt, pickles. I didn't mean to make that. Okay,
Pickles.
leave ourselves a 1 makeable par putt. Okay,
I want this set up in my home.
and when it stops, our par putt, pickles, sounds too close. I'm going to make most of those. So let's go 66 yards out. Let's leave ourselves a makeable par putt. All right, good. I just stopped short of the hole. Just roll up, trickle pretty close. Pickles, 150 yards. There we go. That should stop short of the hole, maybe trickle out just a little bit. Pickles, 300 yards out. Let's leave ourselves a nice makeable par putt. All right, that was pretty straight. Now, on that
Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's hilarious.
I've been using the Lab Golf putter lately. Now, I try to visualize my hand path. Please don't go in. Pickles! Hey, I'm ending up.
Pickles as a swear is brilliant.
It's genius. It's so good. All right. Here you go, Alden. Here's your time to shine.
Oh yeah.
So sad. It's really just tragic because I took my love and, well, I took it right down. I said, button post, not posting yet. And I climbed a mountain so tall, so high, I turned around, I could barely breathe. It was so high. I saw all my reflection in the snow-capped little hills there. It's so cold. With a landslide or some other natural force brought me down. Now I ask you, Mr. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Can the child within my heart, if you're still in there, rise above it? Can we? Can I sail through the changing, also changing, the ocean tides with the moon waxing wane? Can I handle all the seasons, winter, fall, spring, summer? My life, I don't know. We won't know. Nobody knows. No one will know. No one will know.
I mean, they killed that.
Yeah, that was good.
That is so
Did they
good.
just was he actually doing the voice, or did they AI that and then just
No, I'm pretty sure he
I think he did it.
I think he did it. Yeah. Pretty sure he did.
I have to believe that he did it.
This may actually be another one of Alden's. Or maybe Zane's. I don't know.
No, this is from Steven.
Strength of street knowledge.
This is NWA.
Met a Compton crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube from the gang called Fellas with Attitude.
What the hell?
Off, I got a sawed off. Raise the trigger and bodies are hauled off.
I sent another video from the same channel, but you.
The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfucker gets showing out. People start to mumble. You wanna rumble, mix them and cook them in a pot like gumbo. Going off on a motherfucker like that with a gat that's pointed at your ass. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder
That was an interesting move.
with a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act like a crazy little fool. Me and you can go toe to toe, no maybe. I'm knocking fellas out the box daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Until them dumb motherfuckers see clearly that I'm down with the capital CPT. Or you can't fuck with me. So when I'm in your neighborhood, you better duck. Cause Ice Cube is crazy as I live, believe I'm stomping. But when I come back, boy, I'm coming straight out of Compton.
This guy has another video where he has John Denver sing War Pigs to the tune of Take Me Home, Country Roads.
Nice. All right, final one for the evening. I had a lot tonight, y'all. Sorry. Here's the last one. It's very short.
Oh, damn.
Am I the only one that is actually a little disturbed by this? Because it seems like the logical conclusion of everybody calling themselves like dog mom instead of like pet, like referring to your pet as your kid instead of like you being the owner. I don't know. Something, I mean, obviously it was funny, but there was a part of me that was made a little bit uncomfortable by this.
It's a little weird if you read between the lines too much, and if you get a little too high and then think about it too long. Like, yeah, it's a little weird, but.
All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the show tonight. Episode number 98. We got 2 more till we're at 100. We're going to figure out when that 100th episode will be. It'll either be 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. We're not quite sure.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. We'll decide also if we're going to have a show next week. So, yeah, apologies if we don't. And if we do, see you there. Anybody else got anything to say before we end?
I'll do the show next week myself if I have to. We'll just.
I think you might have to apologize for having a show in that case.
We'll just make it the first episode of my new show.
But you'll win trivia again. So
you will not be talking about manhole covers for 2 hours. All right, y'all. That'll do it for this week. Go tune in to the Cascade Effect tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Can we bump that up so it's like a reasonable time Eastern for me to watch?
No, because it's a Mountain Time TV show. So.
Yep.